Hello and welcome to this new video tutorial of Magento 2 point of sale custom receipt add-on. And in today's video tutorial we'll be showing you how the admin would be able to create customized receipts and how the admin would be able to add new receipts and assign them to the respective outlets that the admin has already created. And lastly, we'll be showing you how the custom receipts get visible to the customer at the front end whenever a sale is made through the point of sale system. So before we proceed further, let me give you a small brief about this particular extension. So basically, making use of this extension would allow the admin of the web store to create customized point of sale receipts for the customers and can then assign these customized receipts to the available point of sale outlets. The admin will also be able to customize the receipt logo, footer and header details, custom label for discounts, tax, change, subtotal, the cashier and much more. Apart from that, the admin can also preview the POS receipts from the admin backend panel. So let's get ahead and let's see how this particular add-on works. So first we'll be going to the admin backend panel and we'll be showing you how the admin would be able to add a new receipt or add a new custom receipt. So for that, let me take you to the admin backend panel of my Magento 2 instance. So I've already logged into my admin panel, and on the left hand side we have the point of sale option, as you can see here. So tapping that up brings the different options for the point of sale. Now after you've installed this custom receipt add-on, you'll find this POS receipt heading with an option or with a sub menu option, manage receipt. So we need to tap that up. So let me open the manage receipt section. So under the manage receipt section, here the admin would be able to add multiple number of receipts as required by the admin, and apart from that, the admin can also edit any of the created receipts and can preview them as well. And the admin would also be able to enable or disable any of the receipts that the admin has created under this manage POS receipt section. So let's get ahead and let's see how the admin can add a receipt. So for that, the admin needs to tap on the add receipt button on the top right hand corner, as you can see here. So let me tap that up, and this would bring up the section wherein the admin can easily create a customized receipt for use with the created POS outlets. So here we have general settings for the new receipt, and under the general settings we have a number of options that need to be configured for the particular receipt. For example, we have the general, then we have the receipt logo, then we have the header content, the footer content. So let's go through each of the options one by one, and as this is just a demonstration, so I've already added one a receipt in the admin backend panel. So first I'll explain these points here, and after that I'll be showing you how that particular custom receipt can be viewed in the admin backend and at the front end as well. So the very first option that we have under the general settings is the status. So we can choose the status for this particular custom receipt as enabled or disabled. Enable will allow us to make use of this particular receipt, and we can assign this receipt to any of the outlets that we have already created, and disabling it would disallow us for making use of this particular custom receipt. After that, we can set up the title for this particular receipt so that it can be recognized by the admin as well. So for the title, we'll set up the receipt name that would be visible. Then we have the display outlet name, whether you want to display the outlet name on the on this particular receipt or not. So if you want to display the outlet name as well, then you can choose this option as a yes. Otherwise, you can set it as no. Then we have the display date. So if you want to display the date, you can select this option as a yes. If you want to display the order ID as well within the custom receipt, then you can choose the display order ID option as yes. Otherwise you can select a no for these options here. Then we have the order label ID. So here what we can do is we can set up, so for example, if you left out the order ID, if you have selected the order ID, like if we have set this option as empty, then the order ID label would be order ID. Otherwise, if you want to set it up as something like only order, and along with you can set it as ID, then this particular entered text would be visible for the order ID. And if we set this section as empty, then the order ID label would be set up as order ID as has been written here, as you can see. After that, we have the display customer name, whether you want to display the name of the customer within the custom receipt or not. Then we have the display subtotal. You can choose a yes or a no for that to display the subtotal within the receipt. Then we can also set up these subtotal, what we say as the label. So whatever name you want to set up for the subtotal label, you can set it here. So it is customizable, the label name for the subtotal. Similarly, we have the option to enable a discount. So if you want to display the discount for that particular order and want to display it within the custom receipt, then you can choose a yes for that. Then we have discount label. Similarly, you can set up the label for the discount, and if you forget to set up the discount label, then only discount would be displayed at on the receipt at the front end. And similarly, you can enable to display the tax within the custom receipt. You can set up the tax label. You can display credit amount if you want to. You can set up the credit label as well for the same. You can display the change amount. So after that, you can also display the cashier's name, whether you want to display it or not. And similarly, for each of these options, you can also along with them set up the labels that are customizable. So lastly, you can set up to display the outlet address as well. So this was about the general section. For the whenever we are trying to add a new receipt, we have the general settings. We need to set the settings within the general settings first, and then we can go to the receipt logo section and the other sections. So under the receipt logo, you can choose a yes or a no for the option display logo, and selecting this option as a yes would enable the display logo and would be visible within the customized receipt at the front end. And apart from that, you can also upload a receipt logo by tapping the upload button, and this brings up the choose file option, and accordingly you can select a file or a logo for your particular receipt. So you can set the logo width, height, and the logo alt text. So the width and the height should be in pixels, like 200 for the width and 75 for the height. You can set up the logo alt text or the alternate text that lets us know what exactly the image is for. And this was basically the receipt logo section. We have done with the general setting, the receipt logo settings. Now we'll do the header content and the footer content settings. So under the header content, we have this, what you see is what you get, kind of an editor here, and within this the admin can define the content for the receipt, which will be visible on the header section of the receipt, and the admin can also add in the images for the content. And I'm just giving you an overview of what different options are here, and after this I'll be just showing you how exactly we can set up these options, as I've already created one, what we say as the custom receipt. And so basically under the header content, we can set up the content that would be visible within the custom receipts header, and similarly for the footer content as well. So you can also make use of the images as well. And after doing this, you just need to tap the save configuration button, and that would create your new custom receipt. Accordingly, you can create multiple number of custom receipts, and accordingly each would be having a different receipt logo. You can enable or disable them, and you can set up the title for each of them, and you can also preview and edit them after you have created them. So let me show you how we can preview the created custom receipt. For that, we need to tap the preview button, and this would bring up the preview of the receipt. Here's the logo at the top. We have the outlet name, default setup, the time, the order ID, name of the customer. We have some details regarding the sale. Then we have the subtotal and the other details like the grand total and the cashier's name as well. So let me edit this custom receipt that I've already created, and I'll be showing you how different options are set up. So we've enabled it. We have set up the title, as you can see here. The order ID label is being set up. The rest of the options are enabled. Same for the subtotal. And after making the general settings, we'll go to the receipt logo. Here we'll enable the receipt logo, upload a logo, and after that we'll go to the header content. Here we can set up the text and image as well for the custom receipt. Similarly, we can set up the footer content for the custom receipt. So thanks for shopping, keep in touch. Here's the footer, thanks for shopping, keep in touch. And Mega Diwali sale offer, hurry up. So it's basically within here, within the header content section and the image. So that's how basically you can add a new custom receipt from the admin backend panel. So now let's get at it. Let's see how basically we can assign any of the created custom receipts to the outlets that are there within the admin backend panel. So for that we need to what we'll do is we'll navigate through POS again. Then we'll go to the add manage outlet option. That's the very first option. So basically after you install this extension, you will get this manage receipt section only, and for the POS you need to install the POS add-on for the Magento 2 separately. So here we are on the outlet manager section, and here we have all the outlets that we have already created. Now to assign a particular custom receipt to this outlet, what we can do is, for example, the created receipt I want to assign to Luma outlet. So what I'll do is I'll just edit it by tapping the edit link under the actions column here on the right hand side, and this brings up the details of the outlet. And here we can navigate to the manage receipt sub menu option, as you can see. And here from the for the option that says select receipt, there we have a drop down. From here we can select the receipt that we have created. So if you have 10 receipts that you have created, from under this drop down you'll have those 10 receipts listed, and you can select or you can choose anyone that you want to assign to this particular what we say as the point of sale outlet. And after that you just need to tap the save outlet button to save this particular receipt for the respective outlet. So that was how you can assign the created receipts to the outlets. And now let's go to the front end and let's see how these receipts are visible at the front end whenever the cashier prints the receipt. For that we need to place an order. What I'll do is I'll just navigate to the front end now, to the POS, and I'll log in using the credentials of a cashier first. So let me go to the front end now. So here I'm at the front end now. I'll be logging in by tapping the sign in button, and I've set up the drawer amount, and now I'll add one product to my cart, this one as well. I'll select an option for this because this is a configurable product, and I'll add it to the POS cart. And now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll make a payment as a cashier. I'll tap on the place order button. Order has been placed successfully. Now you can see the custom receipt that I had created from the admin backend. We have the product details, the subtotal amount, text amount, grand total, change amount, cashier name, address of the outlet, and the footer and the header details as well. And lastly, the Cashier can also tap the print invoice button to print the particular invoice, and we can also save it as a PDF as well if we want. Otherwise we can make it print out so as to provide it to the customers. So that was how we can make use of the Magento 2 point of sale custom receipt to create the multiple receipts or the customized receipts from the admin backend panel, and we can enable or disable different options within the receipt which are visible to the customers. So that was much about this extension, and hope it helped you out. If you have any questions or queries regarding this extension, then you can always get back to us at support@webcool.com, or you may raise a ticket at webcool.qvdesk.com. Thanks for watching this video and have a great day ahead.